has watched the movies The Smurfs?
What, the movie, like?
The movie, The
Neil Patrick
Smurfs.
Harris?
The Smurfs. Yeah, so there's quite a few here. Who here loved it? Now, this is my problem. The Smurfs was my childhood. I did not watch the movies. I declare that this is an abomination, whatever you call that word.
Abomination.
Because honestly, they've just taken something that was cute, that was actually meaningful in my childhood, and turned it into this marketed product that I dislike. And honestly, nowadays, people, when they see Smurfs, they think of these stupid little blue creatures that run around, sing a stupid song. And by the way, the English version of the song is totally wrong. I actually know it. And they don't understand that they're basically destroying my childhood. I grew up reading the comics, and I loved it. Not because it was cute, not because it was just little things playing around, but because it was actually documenting how these little creatures living in the middle of the woods actually tried to survive and tried to overcome obstacles, create changes, make a better society. And of course, having said that, there is some political messages, and it actually really saddened me when I learned about them. So I'm going to teach you guys some information, some few facts about the Smurfs. So the first thing is, the thing about them going to New York and everything, that is really, really annoying, because actually they are not supposed to be in the modern world. They are actually in the Middle Ages. What happened was originally the writers of the comics first came up with these stories about this knight and his friend. And along the way, they met the Smurfs. So basically, the Smurfs was actually a spin-off of an original series. And they did not have those white hats back then that were like kind of bobby pin shape or whatever. They were actually straight. But of course, over time, they changed it. Second interesting fact, the first issue of the Smurfs actually caused controversy. Why? Because it was titled The Black Smurfs. And as you can guess, the Black Smurfs it was actually a disease. And if a Smurf turned black, then it would go around, bite other Smurfs on the tail, and they would turn black, and they would act really disgusting and everything. So therefore, in America especially, people were like, no, this is racist. So in the end, what happened when they finally released the first book, they named it the Purple Smurfs. And of course, we'd be really in hot water if suddenly people turned purple. But for now, there's nothing, so we're safe here. Now back to my theory of the political messages behind the Smurfs. There were articles about that, but supposedly, the writers are actually trying to promote communism. I was heartbroken, not because I have a political side, but I just do not like propaganda, especially when it's integrated into children's books. So basically, this is what they said. First of all, there is one leader, and he's wearing red. And he has all the information, he has all the power. There's no money. In fact, there was one point where they actually tried to implement money, and it failed completely. Third point, all the Smurfs have one distinct job that they like, and they're required to do it, and they're not expecting any reward. They just do it because they like to do it, and it's their job, and if they do something, they're not congratulated for it because it's their destiny, it's their expectation. Third of all, there actually was one point where the Smurfs tried to have a king, an absolute ruler. Again, it failed completely. And as you can see, a lot of people thought that, okay, so if you're against kings and queens, and if you're against money, and if you're against changes in general, then you must be communist. Of course, there's a lot of people who can argue against this, and I really don't know. But seriously, if that was true, I'd be kind of heartbroken. But as you can see, The Smurfs is not a little comic book that you can just read and laugh. It has, and also turn into a horrible movie, excuse me, who did that? But it's actually something, it's actually a childhood. It's actually my childhood. It's actually more than just a silly little book. And I hope you guys from this day on kind of understand the importance of this comics and not dismiss it as something silly and stupid. Thank you.